Today our topic is on the power of Memento Mori. Remember, you will die. This might sound like a strange or even scary idea, but it is one of the most powerful thoughts you can use to change your life. Memento Mori is a Latin phrase that means, remember you must die. It is not about being afraid of death or thinking sad thoughts all the time. Instead, it is about using the idea of death to live a better, more meaningful life. Let me explain why this is so important and how you can use it to find motivation, inspiration, and even peace in your daily life. First, let's talk about why remembering death can be a good thing. It might seem strange to think about something so final, but the truth is, death is a part of life. Every single person who has ever lived or will ever live will die one day. This is not a sad fact, it is simply the truth. And when you accept this truth, it can help you see life in a new way. When you remember that your time here is limited, it helps you focus on what really matters. It helps you stop wasting time on things that don't matter and start living with purpose. Think about it. If you knew you only had 1 year left to live, what would you do differently? Would you spend your time arguing with people, chasing money, or worrying about things you can't control? Probably not. You would focus on the people you love, the things that make you happy, and the goals that give your life meaning. Memento Mori is about living like this every day. It's about remembering that life is short, so you should make the most of it. Now, let's talk about how this idea can motivate you. When you remember that you will die, it pushes you to take action. Many people live their lives as if they have all the time in the world. They put off their dreams, waste time on distractions, and let fear stop them from trying new things. But when you remember that your time is limited, it wakes you up. It makes you realize that you don't have forever to chase your dreams or become the person you want to be. This can be a powerful motivator to stop procrastinating and start taking steps toward your goals. For example, maybe you've always wanted to write a book, start a business, or learn a new skill. But you keep telling yourself, you'll do it someday. The problem is, someday might never come. Memento Mori reminds you that time is precious, and if you want to achieve something, you need to start now. It's not about being perfect or having everything figured out. It's about taking the first step, even if you're scared or unsure. Remembering that you will die can give you the courage to try, because you know you don't have forever to wait. This idea also helps you let go of fear. Many people are afraid of failure, rejection, or making mistakes. But when you remember that life is short, these fears start to seem smaller. What's the worst that can happen if you fail? You'll learn something and try again. But what's the worst that can happen if you never try? You'll miss out on the chance to grow, to achieve your dreams, and to live a life without regrets. Memento Mori reminds you that the real risk is not trying, not failing. Another way this idea can inspire you is by helping you focus on what really matters. In our busy lives, it's easy to get caught up in small problems, distractions, and things that don't really matter. We worry about what people think of us, we stress over things we can't control, and we spend hours scrolling through our phones instead of living our lives. But when you remember that you will die, it puts things into perspective. You realize that most of the things you worry about don't matter in the long run. What matters is how you spend your time, how you treat the people around you, and whether you're living a life that feels meaningful to you. This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. Memento Mori is a big part of Stoicism because it helps us stay grounded and focused on what's important. The Stoics believe that remembering death is a way to stay humble, grateful, and present in the moment. It reminds us that life is a gift, and we should not take it for granted. Instead of worrying about the past or the future, we should focus on the present and make the most of the time we have. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're standing in a long line at the store, and you're feeling impatient and frustrated. You start thinking, why is this taking so long? I have so many things to do. But if you remember Memento Mori, you might think differently. You might realize that this moment, even if it's frustrating, is still a part of your life. Instead of wasting it by being angry, you can use it to practice patience or even gratitude. You can think, I'm alive, I'm healthy, and I have the chance to experience this moment. That's a gift. This small shift in thinking can help you find peace and happiness, even in difficult situations. Now, let's talk about how Memento Mori can help you build better relationships. When you remember that life is short, it reminds you to cherish the people you love. Too often, we take our relationships for granted. We get busy with work, hobbies, or other distractions, and we forget to spend time with the people who matter most. But when you remember that your time with them is limited, it encourages you to show more love, kindness, and appreciation. It reminds you to say, I love you more often, to forgive others for their mistakes, and to make time for the people who bring joy to your life. At the same time, Memento Mori can also help you let go of toxic relationships. If you're spending time with people who make you feel bad, who don't respect you, or who bring negativity into your life, remembering that your time is limited can help you make a change. You realize that life is too short to waste on people who don't value you or treat you well. This doesn't mean you should be harsh or unkindred. Just means you should prioritize your own well-being and surround yourself with people who make your life better. Finally, let's talk about how Memento Mori can help you find peace. Many people are afraid of death, and this fear can make them anxious or unhappy. But when you accept that death is a natural part of life, it can actually bring you peace. It helps you let go of the need to control everything or to be perfect. It reminds you that life is not about avoiding problems or living forever. It's about making the most of the time you have. When you live with this mindset, you can find joy in the small moments, appreciate the beauty of the world around you, and feel grateful for every day you're alive. So, how can you start using Memento Mori in your own life? One way is to take a few minutes each day to think about your mortality. You don't have to dwell on it or feel just. Remind yourself that your time is limited and ask yourself, am I living the way I want to live? Am I making the most of my time? This simple practice can help you stay focused on your goals, appreciate the people you love, and find joy in the present moment. Another way to use Memento Mori is to create reminders for yourself. Some people wear a piece of jewelry, like a ring or a bracelet, that reminds them of their mortality. Others keep a quote or a picture on their desk or phone. Whatever works for you, the idea is to have something that reminds you to live with purpose and gratitude. Remember, Memento Mori is not about being afraid of death or living in fear. It's about using the idea of death to live a better life. It's about finding motivation, inspiration, and peace in the knowledge that your time here is limited. So, take a moment today to reflect on this idea. Ask yourself what really matters to you, and then take steps to live a life that reflects those values. Because in the end, the most important thing is not how long you live, but how well you live. And when you remember that you will die, it can help you live a life that is full of purpose, love, and joy.